Ms. Bounds?
Yes, thank you. Well, I would agree. I would love to see our principals have true autonomy, and I do commend Dr. McIntyre's staff because it's hard to research and find all these additional grant monies that you all have found. I do have some concerns, and well, first let me ask a question. Because I think Ms. Fugit, who's not here tonight, directed maybe Dr. McIntyre's staff to, or your leadership team to develop that DM grant. Where is that in the process? Is it being, I'm sorry, policy DM, is it being, where are they, have they formulated it? Is it going to be brought before the board in next month? Or?
Yes, ma'am, I did. I sent an email out a few days ago that we are in the process of developing, as the board asked, some revisions to policy DM. We thought it'd be prudent to check in with TSBA and their policy staff there, and we've done that, and we anticipate getting some feedback from them in the next few days or a week or two, and then plan to have that a draft proposal to the board for the July voting meeting.
Okay, thank you. And then I asked hypothetically what would happen if some of these grants on the agenda were not approved. And I don't want to put the law director on the spot, but what would happen, I guess I am, what would happen if, whatever that is, the grant with the Broad Academy, what would the consequences be if this was not approved? Is that a question that you can answer, or what repercussions would it have?
Let me answer two things.
Okay.
First thing is that if the grant is a non-matching grant, this board approves the grant, even though it's a gift to the county, it goes to the county pro forma. So there's not an issue with that on the other side. If the grant is a matching grant, it goes across the street. It can either be accepted or rejected. The implication of that would be between the grantor and the grantee once it comes back to this side. They may be able to work something out. I can't say how the end of it would be, but I would hope that Knox County would be able to work with the person or the company or whatever it is to put it in such a way that it would be acceptable. Maybe in a non-matching form or something where this body could accept the grant. It's just, one of those issues that there's not a real clear answer to. I mean, I can tell you, from best scenario is we get it worked out and it's a moot issue. The worst scenario is we don't get the money, or if we've gotten the money, we might have to pay it back. Okay. I mean, that's there's a realm of possibilities, but I would say most of the granting people that I know and companies that I know that give grants are more than willing to work with the recipient to work within the realms of their abilities.
Thank you.
Ms. Carson?
Yeah, Mr. Armstrong, you just said if there are matching funds in a grant and it goes across the street and they reject it, if it's within our budget, do they have that? I thought.
Yeah, all of the matching grants go over and they have a straight vote on it. It is not a contractual thing that we have with the county commission. If it is already appropriated, however, then this is one that if it doesn't have an appropriation or a line item already appropriated, then what we're asking for at the same time is a line item transfer or an appropriation to go with the matching grant. That is then within the purview of that legislative body to fund it or not to fund it. Whatever the organization is, whether it's the health department, whether it's schools, whether it's anything else. If the money is already appropriated and there's a line item for it, then you're still asking for a line item transfer.
So if we were to have a budget, I'm just looking in the future, that has grants as a line item, and we budget a certain amount every year that's going to be utilized to match grants that we choose to, then that would be, and they approve that budget, because they don't approve each line item, they approve a budget in total, then that would not be the case.
That's a possibility. Okay. I would have to really look into that. I don't want to give you a cold yes or no, but it it sounds feasible,
Okay.
okay?
Ms. Roundtree, do you have your mic down?
I did. I just wanted to, I know the policy DM rewrite is being worked on, and I should presume that it would also go to the law director's office for form, as we have discussed, Dr. McIntyre.
I'm sorry?
The policy, I guess, would also be reviewed by the law director's office.
Yes.
Okay. And I just to Ms. Carson's point about policies in other counties, I know in Hamilton County, their grant policy states that the grants have to be in harmony with the laws of the state and the county. And I guess this is a law director question. If our current policy was not in harmony with what the code is, I don't know, I guess and maybe I'm misunderstanding Ms. Carson's point. I wouldn't want us to have a policy that was, I don't know the other ones you've looked at, are they in contradiction to state law? I don't know what you've researched or looked
No,
at.
all I'm saying is that the interpretation of, when I talked to the maker of the bill in 2012, who helped to push that bill, about the whole intent in that was that boards in under the 50,000 did not have to go and wait. There were school systems that missed opportunities due to the waiting. And so I was told that Public Chapter 9034 in 2012, that was that intent. I have no desire to have a policy that's not consistent with state law or is in conflict with state law. I don't think anybody on this board does. I'm saying that interpretation of that law varies, and I want it fully vetted so that we can make the best decision. I have no desire to go against what our attorneys recommend, but I think when there are questions, there are further steps you can take to make sure that what we're doing is consistent with state law. And just for the record, I will say every single policy this board, and I heard the chair direct too, every single policy will have the signature of the law department as being consistent with law prior to this board considering it. Is that correct? So we,
Yes.
Thank you.
Is there any other comments or questions in reference to these items?